My name is Steve Francis. I'm the president of the Middle Eastern Law Enforcement Officers Association, and I'm also the Deputy Special Agent in charge of ICE Homeland Security Investigations in Detroit, Michigan.
I'm Fadia O'Day. I am the Vice President of the Middle Eastern Law Enforcement Officers Association, and I'm also the Watch Commander for Customs and Border Protection, Office of Field Operations here in Detroit, Michigan. As a mother of two children who comes from a Palestinian background, a Muslim female, in law enforcement, I don't think it's as common as it should be or it will be, hopefully.
My Middle Eastern background and my ability to speak Arabic would help me pursue a federal law enforcement career.
Surprisingly, I never saw myself going into law enforcement. I was on maternity leave when my son was born, when the unfortunate events of 9/11 took place. I was home watching the news with my 2-week-old son in my arms, and something compelled me to want to contribute in one way or another.
After 9/11, I wanted to become more involved with the community. I felt it was important. The perception of Middle Easterners in our communities was very negative. It was a negative perception, I believe, among law enforcement, and I wanted to be more involved and to dispel some of the myths and beliefs of many in our community.
The current events of what's going on in the world today is quite frightening, as you must know. We felt like there was something we needed to do to contribute, whether it be because we are in law enforcement or because we are of Middle Eastern descent. There's so much negativity out there. I want my children and all the children to know that there are more opportunities for them.
A year and a half ago, I went to the Michigan Chiefs of Police Association in Grand Rapids, and I met Fadia through a mutual law enforcement friend. We began to have a discussion about our backgrounds and our career paths.
He told me about a dream that he'd always had, and once he started talking and I saw how passionate he was about it, I said, absolutely, I'm in, let's do it.
At that moment, I realized this was the perfect time, that I thought Fadia would be an excellent representative and a person in a leadership position who's a female Muslim in uniform.
It was probably a week later that he sent me an email, and from there it's just taken off so rapidly, and it's grown to over 100 members in less than a year's time.
We need the support of our business leaders to pursue our objectives through the Middle Eastern Law Enforcement Officers Association, which are our scholarship programs, our mentorship programs, continue to volunteer in our communities to build trust, and also continue our relationship through our state and local law enforcement that support our communities on a day-to-day basis.
The Middle Eastern Law Enforcement Officers Association has received tremendous support from our local leaders. We are grateful to the Department of Homeland Security and specifically to Secretary Jay Johnson for his continued support of our association.
We have our inaugural National Diversity Conference on August 10th and 11th of this year, and we have Secretary Jay Johnson, who will be making his second visit to support the Middle Eastern Law Enforcement Officers Association. We have CBP Commissioner Gil Kurlikowski, who is also supporting our initiative, and the Director of ICE Immigration and Customs Enforcement, who will be here, Sarah Saldana.
We are extremely grateful to our community and business leaders for their generosity and our friends and family for their support of our association.